moi. This is our breakfast. Akara. Right here. And we have bread. Agege style. This is agege bread. And then we have ekpo made with the leaves by our Alaja over here. And then we have our ogi in here. This is breakfast selection.
We're gonna be having lunch soon.
And usually breakfast is complimentary in our event.
This palace is not safe enough for you to stay any longer.
I
was born and raised in Nigeria. I went to primary school and secondary school there. And one of the reasons, what she's really known for, like, you know, you have to take the common entrance exam, and they were like, who is the first woman to ride a car? And then it's her. But they relegated all the work that she did to the fact that she just rode a car. She did a lot more for Yoruba people and our history, and I think it's really important that, like, you know how we know about Martin Luther King in America and Rosa Parks. It's also important for us to know our past eras as well. Funlayo was fighting for the right of women, and like if there's any current gender inequalities back home, even here, we should also be trying to be mindful of how we can bring about equality to both genders as well. And that's it for me. Thank you.
We have so many programs for today. And we want to introduce what things you do. If you look at me, I am putting these on top of the shokoto. That is the kind of a trouser, whatever, pants, whichever way you want to call it. This is the t-shirt that we have, and it has the logo of Omo Yoruba and everything in it. It's outside there for $25 for kids to pick. We have so many programs that go in pari passu. As we are sitting here, outside there are things going on. There's some people showcasing a dress, which she brought for people to look at it, how we make our own kind of dresses in Yoruba land. There'll be too many programs. We're thinking about scholarship too. Please, if you have any child that has a 3.0 and above, please, they can submit their something to the committee that deal with the scholarship. We're going to have people showcase anything. We have lunch coming in and all that. It's going to be a fun-packed day. Yomi, you are welcome again.
Thank you.
Please, enjoy your play.
Allah is, I can call it critical thinking of our great grandparents. Tí n bá sọ pé àlọ́ o, ẹ máa dá mi lóhùn pé àlọ́. Ta ló mọ̀ o? Ọ̀pá tẹ́rẹ́ kan lè ó ẹ wo àsìkò ọwọ́ yín kẹ́ tó dá mi lóhùn. Afọ́jú ló ń pàlọ́ ọ̀sán, tèmi tọmọ ni màá pàlọ́ ìrọ̀lẹ́. Èmi mọ̀ o, ọ̀pá tẹ́rẹ́ kan ló kọ̀run òjò ní o. Ẹ wọ́ wọn látẹ̀wọ́ o. Torí pé ọ̀sán la wà, ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá ti fẹ́ dáhùn ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ sọ pé afọ́jú ló ń pàlọ́ ọ̀sán, tèmi tọmọ ni màá pàlọ́ alẹ́.
Hello, would you like to make some math? Okay, so here is
Yes, so the concept of Ori, the Yoruba land, is more than just a physical head. It has to do with the spirituality.
Freebie! Yeah, it's a farmer's market for Yoruba.
Farmer's market. Okay, I'll take one of these. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot.
Aṣọ tó bá dára ni kó rà fọ́mọ rẹ̀ o. Ìlà tó bá dára ni kó rà fọ́mọ rẹ̀ o. Aṣọ tó bá dára ni kó rà fọ́mọ rẹ̀. Ìdí tó bá dára ni kó rà fọ́mọ rẹ̀. Tó bá lógún ẹrú, èyí wọ́n pa ọkọ̀. Tó bá lógún ẹrú sẹ́ẹ̀, ó ní wọ́n pa ọkọ̀. Ọjọ́ tó bá kú ọmọlàdé. Bàbá lókè jẹ́ kọ́mọ wà ṣe lédè wá nítorí ọmọláṣọ ayé ọmọláṣọ. Nítorí ọmọláṣọ ayé ọmọláṣọ. Nítorí wípé ọmọláṣọ ayé ọmọláṣọ. Nítorí wípé ọmọláṣọ ayé ọmọláṣọ. Nítorí wípé
ó ní bá ṣe ń ṣe ètò ìkómọ wa láti ayé àwọn bàbá wa eléyìí ò látẹ̀sìn lọ rárá ìṣẹ̀ṣe wa rèé àbáláyé wa rèé bá ṣe ń sọ ọmọ lórúkọ àwọn nǹkan tó wà níbí tá a fẹ́ lò lénìí láti fi sọ ọmọ lórúkọ àbí tí a ń lò láti fi sọ ọmọ lórúkọ omi náà kọ́ máa ń lò alómi ṣúgà ìrèké orógbó atare iyọ̀ oyin obì epo gbogbo ẹ̀ so gẹ́gẹ́ bí orúkọ tí wọ́n fún ọmọ yìí a fún ní ọmọ Yorùbá tòrò ẹ pé tẹ̀lé mi ọmọ Yorùbá ilé wa tòrò a lè máa pè ní tòrò so omi ayé rèé o.
This is the water of life.
Amúyé o. Àṣẹ. Kò ní pa ẹ lórí o. Àṣẹ. Tá bá ti fi gbogbo àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí ṣe ìwúre tán, a wá gbé nǹkan wọ̀nyí káàkiri. So fún àpẹẹrẹ, mo fọwọ́ ṣe àgbẹ̀ ọwọ́ náà máa ń lò. Mo fọwọ́ bá ayọ̀, mo fi kóyin. Mo fọwọ́ bá ayọ̀, mo fi kóyin. Ọ̀rọ̀ mi dayọ̀, mo dúpẹ́. Mo fọwọ́ bá ayọ̀, mo fi kóyin.
Can you tell us about the drums you have here?
This is Konogolele, talking drum, Konogo.
Okay, Kilele, that's really.
Kidi, ìyẹn gbọ̀ngbọ̀n Kidi. Ilé àwọn bẹ̀m̀bẹ̀ làwọn ilé ìgbín rèé. Àwọn bẹ̀m̀bẹ̀ ni àwọn jíǹde àwọn ilé.
Which this event itself is a part of. So just to give a shared understanding in the context of where we are and what's going on. So although we're in this land now, we've been coming to America for a long time. If you have a longer view of the Omoluabi consciousness, right? In fact, this first book on the left is a book about the Yoruba diaspora in the Atlantic world, right? A lot of Yoruba people, because of the transatlantic slave trade, etc., were brought to the Americas, whether in Brazil, the Caribbean area, or in the United States. And so it's one thing to think about that larger identity of us. I think it's very important when we talk about what's going on now and where we find ourselves. Instead of just jumping in and saying, hey, we're Yoruba, we came here in the 80s. There's a longer line. That's why you meet people here who look like you, right? So it's very important. A few things to think about. So if you're going to be raising children in the United States, and you have a Yoruba background, you very much should understand the caste system that exists in the United States already. If you don't, you're behind the ball. So that means you have to understand what blackness means in the United States governmental sense, and you have to understand what whiteness means. So not only do you have to understand the ideologies, you have to understand the attendant political history in this country of how the ideas of being black or white worked and what they meant for economics, what it meant for ownership, what it meant for how you walk around on the street, who gets off of the sidewalk, who gets on, who goes around to the colored entrance, who doesn't, what does it mean for children who are mixed between both. Yeah, it's all very important things. And then lastly, make sure you stay in touch. If you haven't already, check out the website, leave your email with someone so that when we're doing these things, you can stay up and abreast of things. And then I'll have links to this too. So I know it's a lot of slides. It's just for discussion and to like kind of whet your brain and your mind. But I really want to turn it back to you guys. And again, you can follow along with the slides at your own to see if anyone has any thoughts about any of the topics brought up, any ideas, any insights, right? From no matter where you come in the diaspora. So the floor is open. Thoughts, concerns, questions, comments.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Yejide Akinwale. And when we came, we were trying to survive. Now that we have survived, how do we try? And I think we can learn from what others have done. So in the presentation, I saw something about economic development. I think we should move to the next stage. Like our sister has said, what do we contribute? We are here, so let's not just take and take. How do we contribute? And we contribute in terms of business, establishing things. I know people have been talking about it and people have been doing, but maybe this is time for us to move to the next level.
I just want to admonish our brothers and sisters here that regardless of your positions in all these companies you are working for, what you are doing is not a legacy. You can leave it behind for your children. You can be director of this, supervisor of this or that. When you leave that employment, it's gone. You can't pass this on down to your children. So, be thinking. Let's think out of the box.
We have a guest speaker that took his time to come down. I'd love to welcome him. I think Mr. President's going to introduce him, and we'll go from there.
So, Mr. Bellin, please have the floor, please. Thank you very much.
I'm very happy to be part of this gathering. There's a particular word that gets the African Americans very, very upset. And it's coming from my side of the Africa, the Yoruba. It's called Akata. The moment you hear that word, they are mounting serious defense. I've seen several YouTube podcasts addressing this particular issue, topic, and trust me, I have done my own research. It is not what people make it to be. What I suspect is that there are some people somewhere feeding this narrative so that they can keep us like that, so that we can be divided. Panther, the Black Panther, is in the cat family. And the first set of Nigeria who came, when they are trying to join the civil rights movement, to interpret it to Yoruba directly, that's a Black Panther is Akata. And the likes of Fela came to America, and they bought into that movement. Oh, they are doing people like me like this. Oh, I must join. Not just Fela, a lot of Africans. And that is why the word Akata came to be. So let's put that to rest. There's no fight. A bad person is a bad person, a good person is a good person. It is not about tribe, religion, or anything. It is very, very, very good for us, the Yorubas, to have this kind of gatherings so that you can have the power of number to push the political class in your direction to speak your language. And one of the powers you can use, Nigerian Yoruba people particularly, we are very, very strong when it comes to art. And that is why we must all come together. When next they call for this kind of gathering, make sure you bring 2, 3 other people. Like that, we'll go and we'll have the voice we need to make our demands. And with the numbers, anybody will attend to us. Thank you very much. My name is
I personally met Sandra Isadore. If you don't know Sandra, Sandra was the African American lady who hosted Fela Anikulapo Kuti when he first came to the United States. In 1969, when Fela came to California, she hosted him and his group and introduced him to the African American struggle in the 1960s. And it was called the Black Panther Group. And Panther, I mean, we all watch Wakanda Forever, Black Panther. Everybody loved Panther in Black Panther. So if Black Panther is Black Akata, why is Akata now a bad word? Sandra Isadore confirmed in writing, and I have a message here. It's not just that, just making it up. Direct message, May 10, 2024, that when Fela came up with the Akata word, it was in direct translation of Panther. And it wasn't a derogatory word in any way to anybody. So if Black Panther is not derogatory, if when Black Panther movie came out, everybody celebrated the movie and took on that identity, wore the costume and all that to celebrate the movie, why then is Akata, which is Yoruba meaning for Panther, why is now being used or being taken to be derogatory?
I'm privileged to see a reaction of an African American about being called Akata. That day I was in tears. I was in tears because these people, they've lost their identity, their language, their culture. There was a movement that started then in the 60s that brought about the name Akata. It has nothing to do with them now. And I think we should cease and desist from calling them this name. That's not who they are. They're not Panthers. They are people that are made by God.
Amen.
They are their own family. They are us. If you can't call your child Akata, you can't call your wife Akata. We have no moral justification for any reason to call them because they are our blood.
Gotcha.
What you are is who they are. So we should honor them and make them feel that they are us and we are them.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Gotcha. Thank you, sir.
Please, we have come to the end of that discussion, and I really appreciate everybody that contributed to that. And I really want to thank Mr. Olufemi Ogidengbe, because what he has come here to deliver is a kind of a thing that people will go away with. He educated people. So I really want to thank everybody. Please, all the people that made this impossible for us.
I just wanted to thank all the people that participated in the planning committee. And that is not just Omo Yoruba members that are in the planning committee. That is also Moremi members in the planning committee. Once they knew that we were planning, you know, it's like, did you start the meeting before us? And no, I just found out. We just started meeting, and they come every week. For the past 2 months, we've been meeting every Tuesday night. This event takes a whole lot of logistics, and we try to do everything possible not to drop the ball somewhere, but it's always not possible. We'll reflect and see where we can improve.
I just want to introduce this Yoruba family. And they brought the picture of their ancestor, who they know, they found out is actually Yoruba. And they are here to reclaim. They are here to reclaim their ancestors, reclaim their ethnicity. They're not just African Americans, they're not just Latin Americans, they are Yoruba. So, please, give them a warm Yoruba. She does not have a Yoruba name.
They came right away from San Diego.
All the way from San Diego.
Online.
I was actually looking at another event online, and this event popped up after I bought some tickets, and I saw the name Yoruba. And once I saw the name, I read a little bit more, and I connected with what my mom told me about her getting the DNA test that tells you what your African ancestry is, and her results came up to be Yoruba from her mother's line, and we're happy to be here. I wanted to bring my children. I brought 2 of my children and my mother because we wanted to connect and reunite with Yoruba. A lot of love and wisdom, and a lot of history and knowledge that we didn't know before, and I'm so eager to learn more, and I'm so happy to be here and find another part of our family that has embraced us.
This program has been one of the best we ever had. We be having series of this program before, and it has always been successful, but this one too, I thank God that we are able to achieve what we achieved. We saw people that came just because they saw it on the internet and they traced themselves to this place. They even brought in what they can use to trace their origin to Yoruba land. Everybody was so moved by that act of what they did.
It was good to see people put together. It was good to see a lot of cultural flair. I think we just need to do it more often, more than once a year. But yeah, it was great. Good to see the people. Good to bring together people from all different swaths of the Yoruba and Yoruba adjacent and related community. Yeah, it's our strength. It's our power. So love to see us do it more often. The most interesting part for me, I would say the community town hall discussions and the masquerade performance.
The most interesting part to me was I also enjoyed the masquerade. I like seeing the culture or the dance and the music behind that, and learning from my aunts and my mom about sort of the history of the dancers and the meaning in terms of helping to celebrate harvest, agriculture, things like that. So I really enjoyed that, and I'm always here helping out. Well, not always. This is my 2nd year back from being a child here, so it's nice to help out and see how things have changed.